Good morning. It's Wednesday. Today we're going to read Matthew 7. And this is continuing on with a part of the Sermon on the Mount. It actually goes over several chapters. But today we start chapter 7. And the first section is titled Judging Others. Judge not that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not recognize the log that's in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Now, I would like to say something about that. It's saying that when we judge, how we judge, the way our heart is, that's how we're going to be judged. So if we're judged in kindness and in love, that's how we're going to be judged. And obviously the part where it says, if you've got a log in your own eye, don't judge somebody else that's got a speck in theirs. Make sure you're taking care of your problems, sins, situations, the hard things in your life before you go judge somebody else who's not. They're maybe doing the same thing but not as advanced as yours, because God sees our hearts, and that's how he's going to judge us, is the situation our heart is in. Verse 6, do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. The next section is titled Ask and it will be given. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Now, obviously, that's not saying that if you're a Christian, you're only going to get good things. That's our lives. There are bad things and good things that happen. I think we as Christians need to remember that our attitude toward those things is, again, it all goes back to your heart posture, your heart attitude. If you're thankful for all things and something bad happens, you can be affected by that, but you're not going to let it destroy you. And so our attitude needs to be, I'm thankful in all things. Because even if something is bad, you should be able to find some good in it. Verse 12, this is the golden rule. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Now, remember, that doesn't say do to others as they do to you. Do to others as you want them to do to you. Even if they're not, you've got to be who you are. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. And the next section is a tree and its fruit. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by your fruits. By their fruits. You will recognize them by their fruits. So again, that goes back to, I heard somebody say one time, we may not be judges, but we can be fruit inspectors. And if someone is claiming to be something, but the way they live their life is proven to be otherwise, it's okay for us to recognize that they're not being who they're saying they are. I'll just leave it at that. Just, you can watch how somebody is, and if they're saying, as example, if they're saying they're the greatest facelift surgeon in the world, but the way they act, the things they do doesn't prove that out, it's okay to not believe them. It's okay to recognize that they're not telling the truth. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruits. And the next section is, I never knew you. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then will I declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. And then the next section is titled, Build Your House on the Rock. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And then the last section in chapter 7, the authority of Jesus. And when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one who had authority, and not as their scribes. So, all I have to say is, the way you judge other people is how you're going to be judged. So be careful. Don't judge somebody into hell when you don't know the circumstances. None of us has the right to say, well, that person's going to hell. No, because their life is not over and they haven't dealt with God yet. There's some mighty bad people who repented at the end of their lives, and because God is just, none of us deserve to go to heaven, but we can all go through Jesus. And none of us is so bad that God will send us to hell if we do try to come to Jesus. So just remember that when you're judging people by how they look, how they dress, the color of their skin, the language that they speak, none of those things are going to send us to hell. The only thing that sends us to hell is not having a relationship with Jesus the way he asks us to. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope y'all have a great day, and thank y'all for joining me every day, and thank y'all for helping me to stay accountable.